So yeah, so with all the bullying and things that are going on, you always have to find this way to stay your ground. And so my my act and performance of that has always been to make sure that people respect me as a man, as a boy first. And okay, you may know something personal about me and the person I like to lay next to, but when I'm with you, you will respect me man to man as an equal. I think that's the issue that a lot of straight people have with homosexuality is devaluing the person, and so I never want to be devalued.
And do you purposely view being gay as separate from being a man? Like just because that's your natural, because you naturally think that they are two separate things? Or do you more so view them as separate because you've had to in order to protect yourself and ensure that you get the kind of respect that you want?
Definitely the second one,
Okay.
the protection of myself. I don't, the choices I make and the things that I'm speaking about, I would never preach to someone else, because I have a lot of friends who are way more feminine than me, and like I love them just as much, and I respect their hustle and their story and their life, because it's a lot to be not even being gay. It's a lot to have red hair. It's a lot for a woman to want to wear a short skirt. Like there's all these issues. But in terms of being gay, there are people living their truth way more than I am, and so I would never devalue the people I know.
Right.
So I don't want others to do it to me. So I guess I have always used it as a shield or protection for the years.
And do you think that you've developed this shield specifically because of the neighborhood that you live in, or do you think maybe if you were to have grown up somewhere else, this would have been the case?
Oh no, it has nothing to do with my neighborhood, or at least I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had the occasional like being called a faggot, stares, but not. I don't. When I'm in my neighborhood, I'm not fearful of my life.
Right.
I'm not. And I think it's because I've always made it clear that I'm a man first.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people that see me, you may have your thoughts, you may laugh, you may talk behind me, but when you see me face to face, you will respect me. I don't think there's any of, not to my knowledge, I don't think there's any of those in the Bronx. I think that's why so many of the young gay kids are like in the city all the time, and the village is so popular because it's their Oz, if you will.
Right.
Like, it's their getaway. And they're finding community with their friends by going to the city. They're finding like, in houses, like, they're finding mothers and brothers and uncles, and they all call each other sis. Like, it's family. And I think, like I was saying before, I was blessed enough to have that kind of upbringing where I already had these components. So I never felt the need to look for them. I didn't have a real gay friend until, like, someone I considered a friend that I could text and call, until I was about maybe like 19 or so.
We don't even have anything to just kind of bring us together and, make us feel as one in the community in the Bronx, like we do in the other boroughs. And so that would be really great if we could get some more just different things in the community to kind of bring us together, because I feel like the gay community in the Bronx is so sort of hidden. It's like there's no one really out there, like, just really feeling free to be themselves. And they literally I feel like a lot of the gay community travels to Manhattan or Brooklyn or like Fire Island and like places like that. Like no one no one that's in the gay community actually, hangs out in the Bronx and is like, oh, let's like go somewhere in the Bronx. That doesn't happen. So that would be pretty cool if that could, I
Do you
guess.
feel safe as yourself in the Bronx?
Like in my actual neighborhood, yeah. Like as a whole, I mean, I definitely know I'm gonna have to watch my back and defend myself. But like I know I look over my shoulder a lot less in Manhattan. So as a whole, I do believe that gay discrimination in the Bronx is definitely higher than in other boroughs. It's definitely more dangerous for someone homosexual to walk down the street and not be harassed or be attacked. I have personally been attacked before just because of my sexuality. So I have friends that I know as well that have been attacked in the Bronx for their sexuality, and it makes it more difficult for us to walk home at night. If we have a job that we have to leave late from work and we want to just get home safely, we can't do that sometimes without wondering if someone's going to bother us just because of who we are. And mind you, the day that I got mugged, I was right in front of a police station and I still got mugged. And so that just goes to show how difficult it is for us to just feel safe in our communities.
Have you ever thought about leaving the Bronx for that reason?
I have. I just haven't at the moment because I'm saving my money, and I want to, when I actually do move, I want to move somewhere that I'm sure about. And I believe my actual neighborhood in itself, I feel safe. But getting there is still a problem.
A lot of our LGBT older adults have dealt with a lot of homophobia. I mean, we're talking about older adults that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s. So they've seen the ugliest face of homophobia back in the 60s and 50s, and particularly in the 70s as well. And so, and many of them have been impacted by it, Many of them live under the, I would say the majority of the people that come here live under the poverty line. And so, and of course, many of them are always we're constantly struggling with their finances because one, they're most likely, particularly LGBT older adults, are most likely to live alone. We would say 1 out of 4 always live alone. And I got some statistics for you to take so that you can use. They're more likely to live in isolation. They're more likely to deal with depression and mental health issues because of years and years of discrimination and harassment. And again, they're more likely to live in poverty because for many of them, they're not married, they don't have children, and for many of them, they're less likely to go to a healthcare provider because they're afraid to be judged or even to come out to them, especially for those who have partners for many, many years. And you have a partner who, I just had someone who came here who's taking care of his partner. And now he's in a situation he has to bring his partner to the doctor's office, and he's always in that constant, have to explain who he is in that room. And so, and for some of the doctors, they will allow him into the room, and then some won't. And so they're in that situation where they don't want to bother anymore and go to these doctor's appointments. I think March is when we really started to get some core where we're getting about anywhere between 13 and 15 people here on a given time. And so we're starting to see that. They're starting to know each other. You're starting to see core people coming in. You're starting to see some familiar faces. They're starting to see familiar favor among themselves and starting to develop relationship here at the center. And so I would say that it was really in March that we started creating that sense of community here. And part of the sense of community that you're talking about is also a sense of belongingness and a sense of ownership here. And I think we're also starting to see that.
The South Bronx is more homophobic.
Yeah.
Prospect, Simpson.
They don't really care.
Okay. Parkchester.
I have a very close friend. He's gay, and he has gotten jumped a few times in that area because he was gay. But while he's over here, he never has a problem, and he's very comfortable with himself.
Is he the flamboyant gay man?
Yeah, not disrespectful at all. He's like
he's a man.
Lady. He's a man, but he has his dainty moments.
He's a lady boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's simple.
This building is only for LGBTQ members. It's 2808 right up the street. And if people see them coming and going all day, every day, people might not have expressed their difference in the past because maybe they don't know for sure, but now they'll know for sure that's where they live. Do you
Right.
think that'll present a problem?
No,
I really don't think so.
No, not at all.
School right here too.
Yeah.
There's
There's
a college right there,
Right.
you know?
College is right here too, so it's
Yeah.
just a lot going. A lot of different people coming.
A lot of
different races.
diversity.
Yeah,
What?
not a lot of people
Yeah.
just go about their business. It's so busy around here. People don't really mind. Like it's whatever. You gonna see that building and gonna be like, oh, okay.
They're gonna be like, oh well,
What
they'll
is
they
it?
probably acknowledge it, like, oh, this is
Yeah.
where, you know, but then they just mind their own business. It's not like they're gonna throw eggs at it or something.
I don't really think about being a gay male in the Bronx, but my experience being a gay male in the Bronx has been, it's been good. Like, it's not bad at all. I don't think that this is a good place for gay people per se. I've witnessed homophobic situations. Not any of that I've been a part of. I've actually been thankful, like, in my whole life to not have been like the kid that's, you know, been bullied because of sexuality, because I've literally been like friends with everyone. Like, for instance, like in the next building, there's this guy that dresses very flamboyant, I guess. I mean, I do too sometimes, but he's like really like Boy George, kind of like borderline Boy George, like, but in the Bronx. So it's like, which I mean, it's cute for him, and I feel bad because he's younger, but you know, like, they would call him names or like taunt him and stuff like that. But nothing too serious. Like, I haven't heard of any physicality over Target. Like me, I'm confident. I really don't care. So like, I feel like someone calling me, why would someone want to call me a faggot if I'm very well aware of that and I don't care? It'd be like, you know, what would be the point? So, yeah, I just think it's low self-esteem. I think the people with low self-esteem and stuff like that, and they're not to blame.